You know, buying your first home is such a huge deal. It's one of those milestones you've probably dreamed about for years. But actually making that dream a reality, well, that can feel like you're trying to solve a giant puzzle in the dark. So let's turn on the lights and map out this journey together, one step at a time.
I mean, you can picture it, right? Holding the keys in your hand, walking through the front door of a place that is all yours. That's the vision. That's the dream we're talking about. But for most of us, especially the first time around, the path to that dream home looks, well, a lot more like this. It's a tangled mass of questions, paperwork, and potential wrong turns. It can feel really confusing, even a little scary. And you know what? That is a completely normal way to feel. So why does it feel so tough? Well, a huge part of it is the market we're in today. Let's take a place like Colorado Springs, for example, a really thriving city.
This number right here kind of says it all. Over the last 10 years, the population there has shot up by 15%. That is a ton of people all looking for a place to call home, which cranks up the competition and makes it incredibly tough for new buyers to get their foot in the door. And when you're jumping into a market that competitive, trying to go it alone is honestly just a recipe for stress and costly mistakes. Having a real plan and an expert guide isn't just a nice to have, it's absolutely essential. It's what builds the bridge over all those potential pitfalls.
Which brings us to the solution, finding the right guide for your journey. Now, we're not just talking about a salesperson here. We're talking about a true strategic partner.
Think of a real estate guide as your professional advocate. Their entire job, from start to finish, is to be on your team. They're there to protect your money, to make all the complicated stuff simple, and to give you the confidence to make great decisions.
So what does a guide like this actually do for you? Let's break it down and look at it as a toolkit they bring to the table. A toolkit designed to get you ready for the journey ahead.
Okay, tool number 1, and this is maybe the most important, the personalized consultation. This is ground zero. It's where you sit down, get all your questions answered, and really figure out your budget and the timeline. This is what turns that feeling of anxiety into a feeling of clarity. Next up, your guide gives you access you just can't get on your own. We're talking about the entire market, including listings that might not even be public yet. They have deep local knowledge about schools, neighborhood trends, you name it. It's a real insider's advantage.
And hey, when you find that perfect place and it's time to make a deal, your guide becomes your champion. They help you write a smart, competitive offer. And this is huge. They go to bat for you after the inspection. They fight to get you the best price, negotiate repairs, or get you credits. They're in your corner.
All right, let's talk about the money part, because that's often the most intimidating piece of the puzzle. A great guide connects all those financial dots for you. They'll introduce you to lenders they trust, they'll break down different loan options like FHA or VA loans for first-time buyers, and they'll help you get that all-important pre-approval.
Okay, so we've got our toolkit packed. Now let's look at the actual roadmap. How do all these pieces come together to take you from that first conversation all the way to closing day?
Here it is, your roadmap from start to finish. It all kicks off with that critical consultation and getting pre-approved. Then comes the fun part, the search. Once you find the one, your guide takes over the heavy lifting, crafting the offer, handling the intense back-and-forth negotiations, and managing all that closing paperwork. The whole point is to make this journey as smooth as possible, right up to the moment you get those keys. Now, beyond all the guidance and expert negotiation, working with the right professional can also lead to some real tangible savings. Let's see how that can literally put money back in your pocket.
So some real estate firms are now offering what's called a buyer's rebate. It's pretty simple, actually. A rebate like this, say 0.5%, means you, the buyer, get a chunk of the home's sale price back as cash right at closing. And just look at how that adds up. On a $350,000 home, that's almost $1,800 back to you. If you buy a $450,000 house, you could be looking at over $2,000. That is not pocket change. That's money for moving costs, for new furniture, whatever you need.
And hearing from people who've actually been through it makes it all the more real. Take this couple, for instance. They bought a $400,000 home, and a rebate program like this meant they got $2,000 back at closing. For any new homeowner, that kind of savings is a total game changer.
So as we start to wrap this up, let's pull back and look at the big picture. What is the fundamental difference between trying to do this all by yourself versus having an expert in your corner?
Well, this slide really lays out the two paths. On one side, you have the potential for chaos, stress, and uncertainty. And on the other, you have clarity, support, and confidence. It really transforms a risky and overwhelming process into a protected and manageable one.
It's a true night and day difference. So here's the bottom line. Your dream of owning a home is absolutely 100% achievable. The right guide doesn't just find you a house, they clear the path, cut through all the complexity, and empower you to turn that dream into your new reality.
Which leaves us with just one final question, and this one's for you. Now that you have the roadmap and you know what's in the toolkit, what's the very first step you're going to take on your own journey to homeownership?